All right, so we're back today with another NECA Back to the Future figure, and we're almost there with completing this series. I've got 2 figures left to look at, so let's get stuck into this Hazmat suit, Ultimate Doc Brown, right now. Hi, all, Chris here, and today we are closing in on the end of this NECA Back to the Future collection. And whilst I'm sad to see it come to an end, it's great to have all of the figures in the collection in my cabinets to look at. Again, still such a shame that we got no Back to the Future 3 figures, but let's not dwell on it today. We've got a Hazmat suit, Ultimate Doc Brown here from the pictures. He looks awesome. Really, really excited to see what he looks like. Let's just get stuck in, shall we? So we're going to take a look at the box first. And I think this is one of the nicest looking artworks on any of the boxes we've had. They've made this look like that sort of plutonium container that Doc Brown has at the beginning of the movie. And it's really effective. I think that looks excellent. On the 2 sides is the same image that we see on every one of these Back to the Future figures. And on the back, we've got the Ultimate Doc Brown Hazmat suit with the same blurb on the back as all the other figures, and a nice collection of images of this Doc Brown so that we can see what he looks like in a variety of poses, along with a number of other figures in the collection there for us to collect as well. So it looks great. And we'll open up the front lip and we can see that nice image of Doc Brown on there as well. So it's nice to see a full scale image of what he can look like with his accessories. But you know, the box isn't what we're interested in, is it? Let's get stuck in. I'm going to start with his accessories today, and there's a few of them. We've seen some NECA figures with more, and I've seen a few in this collection with less actually. Let's get started with this pair of spare arms that he comes with. So these are sleeves down with hazmat gloves on the arms. So it just means that he can't just swap hands on here, so they've had to give a full set of arms. But they're very nice. As I say, with all these NECA figures, the way they sculpt the clothing into this plastic material that they use is really effective. The creasing always looks spot on, really crisp. The lines always look very clean on these figures. And I also think that the gloves really do give a feel of that thick plastic rubbery material that are clearly being, that are being worn because they're handling nuclear materials. And I just think that they're really effective. The hands there look like they're sort of semi-gripping hands, not quite an open palm, but also not something that you could put the revolver in. But we'll have a little bit more of a look at that later. Moving on from the arms, we're going to have a look at this alternate face mold here. And this is more of a grinning Doc Brown face. We'll see the standard sort of shocked face that Doc Brown comes with attached to the figure. But I really like this. I think that we've had so many different faces for Doc Brown. I reckon so many of them are probably interchangeable. You could use them between figures. But I like this sort of smug grin. This is that, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you'll see some serious shit kind of face. So I like that. And here's the remote control for the DeLorean as well. Again, look at the painted detail on here. The attention to painted detail is really admirable. Even with a small piece like this, they don't need all of that silver material and the red on the back, but they've put it there. And it adds to the authenticity of this accessory. So I do really like that. That's going to look great in hand. The pieces don't move, so I'm not going to attempt to push them, but I'll go on, I'll have a go. Yeah, no, they definitely don't move. So don't try and force those. I like the little dial at the top as well that says 88 miles per hour. So let's pop that down and let's have a look at the rest of the accessories. So we do have one more gloved hand. So this is the trigger hand here. So I like that there is another alternate hand there so we can pop the revolver in. And then we do have 2 alternate ungloved hands as well. This is quite a tight gripping hand, and this is designed for accessories such as the clipboard that we'll get to in a moment. And then we have another gripped hand here, and this is a standard gripping hand. So I don't like some of that. There's a little bit of plastic that's sitting on the edges there that could have been cleaned up a little better, but standard gripping hand there. And then we have a really, really well styled revolver here. So this is his Magnum, and I don't know what model it is. Tell me in the comments. I'm sure it's a common Magnum revolver, but I like it. I like the colouring, sort of the ivory grip to it. It looks really nice. It's well painted as well. It's got a really nice shiny colour to it. So I do like the look of that. And then we've got this nice clipboard here. Really well detailed accessories. It's got his calculators and various computing devices stuck to the top. And then a nice lot of paperwork on there as well. It's very well detailed. It does look really nice. And I'm sure it will look great in hand as well. So I'm pleased with all these accessories here. They do feel very authentic to this version of the Doc Brown character and are not here just because they needed to fill the box with something. This very much adds to the scene that this character is from. So yeah, looking forward to opening this up. And next we'll get on to the figure himself. And yeah, what a great looking figure this is. I do like this hazmat suit look. And I think he'll look great with the yellow Marty hazmat suit, the Tales from Space Marty that we've already received. And it's got that more standard shocked face sculpt here that I really love. I think it's a great Doc Brown look, isn't it? The exaggerated, almost cartoony look of fear that he gets. I really, really like this sort of supposedly one-piece hazmat suit that he's got on. It feels thin, you know, almost papery on him, which is exactly what you want. So you can see the layers of clothes underneath through the middle there. I love what's in his pocket as well. Tons of little detail on here. And as I moved it away, you can see the timer that he's got strapped around his neck and into his waist as well. You know, the timer that he uses to time the DeLorean going 1 minute into the future. And, you know, look at the knickknacks that he's got on this tool belt as well. All individually painted, little screwdrivers and wrenches, pliers, a torch there as well. It's just so well sculpted, and that feels like brown leather, or it looks like brown leather, I should say. But yeah, I mean, it's so well sculpted. I think this is one of the nicest detailed Back to the Future figures we've had so far. It feels like it's come straight off the screen. I think this one's going to be great for doing some photography shots with the DeLorean. I really, really like this. Oh, and even the little notepad comes out of the pocket. That's great. Really pleased with that. Very nice, yeah. Moving down into the sort of lower half as well. All of the same things, you know, I've said before, apply here. You can see the multiple layers of clothing that is underneath this hazmat suit that he's put on. And the brown sneakers that he's wearing, those sort of casual shoes that he's wearing are really nice as well. I love that light brown colour. You can see all the stitching in it. Everything just is really crisp, as you come to expect with a lot of NECA figures. I'm really impressed with the level of detail that they pack into a figure of this price point. And I've probably not said in a while, but these are 1/10 scale figures. So these are 7-inch figures as opposed to the 6-inch figures that you get in a lot of Hasbro ranges. But we'll look at articulation now as well. I mean, the head moves fairly easily, full 360-degree head movement on there. So as you'd expect with these NECA figures, there is a reasonable down, good upward movement on there. But yeah, there's a reasonable up and down on there. I can't really complain with that. Reasonable left to right rocking motion on that head as well. So there's a good deal of motion in the head. There's a reasonable T-pose on there. There's a single joint in the elbow, as you can see. All very tight and tough to move. And then there is also bend, twist and pivot in the wrists as well. So as you'd expect from these figures, there is no twist or bend in the waist. It is a one piece there. We have an adequate kick out, I'd say, to the side. There is a single joint in the knee here as well. And there is some twist and forwards backwards motion in the ankles. So adequate articulation. This is not a figure that you're going to be able to put into a number of really dynamic poses, but you'll be able to stand him up and have him display some sort of motion. But we'll pop him into a few poses here, and I'll give you my overall thoughts. I think the main thing I want to reiterate is what I said earlier, that this is probably one of the nicest detailed figures that we've got in this Back to the Future range. It wasn't the Doc Brown that I was most looking forward to, and that's probably why this one's been left to last. The iconic Back to the Future 1 and 2 Doc Browns, the standard Ultimates Doc Browns from both films, were the ones that I really wanted. So the 1950s Doc Brown and the 2015 Doc Brown. I mean, ideally what I really wanted was the 1885 Doc Brown. But I actually think that out of the 3 Doc Browns that come in this set of 9 figures, this is by far my favourite. You know, the quality of the detail on all of the accessories that sell the story of this figure is way superior to the other figures in this range, I think. You'll have to let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree. But no, I easily think this is the best Doc Brown in the range. And to talk about some of his accessories briefly, I think the revolver is really good. I think that's an integral part of the story at this point in the movie. I think the clipboard looks great. And if you're putting him in sort of a standard, just standing pose, I think the clipboard's going to look great in his hands. Likewise with the remote control as well. I wouldn't say it's the easiest thing to get into his hands. it does kind of just sit. You know, it's not something you can really strongly grip, but once it's there, it looks great. And the alternate head sculpt as well. That smug look, I really like that. You know, he's so uber confident that this is going to work, you know, and I really like that about Doc Brown at the beginning of the movie. You know, the older Doc Brown, he's so sure of himself. He's finally got an invention, an experiment that has actually worked, so I love it. So, I mean, in summary, really, I think this is a top-tier figure from this Back to the Future wave. I'd say, for me, top 3, definitely. Really pleased with this one. And he's definitely going on my shelf next to the Tales from Space Marty. And again, it just makes me lament on, you know, this range and how sad it is that it didn't finish with the third movie and that we got so few characters in it. But hey, at least we got some. I guess that we can at least say that. But I really like the figure. Let me know in the comments what you think of this Doc Brown. Is he one of your favourites? Do you not like him? You know, drop down and let me know in the comments what your favourite figure is from this range. I'd be really interested to know that as well. We've got one figure left. We've got the Audition Marty. So we'll bring that to you fairly soon. I do already have it, so it is ready to go. And please drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed it. It really helps me. And please also consider subscribing to the channel for more action figure reviews and news. If you subscribe now, you'll be able to stay up to date with when I drop that Marty figure review. So our community would love to have you here. But regardless, if you're interested in Back to the Future figures, why not check out this review next? Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you all take care. Bye now.